So Apple did it to us again. They came out with a brand new 27-inch iMac, still on Intel. Let's take a look. All right, so if you're waiting for the 27-inch or the 32-inch iMac to come out with the new Apple Silicon, you got kind of a dilemma on your hands right now because Apple just came out with the new 27-inch Intel-based iMac. And what you're going to get is you're going to get new CPUs, you're going to get new GPUs, but you're going to get the exact same old design and you're going to get Intel CPUs. So let's go ahead and get into it. I want to show people, what's included with the new ones. Is it worth it to buy them? What I think, should you be waiting? Shouldn't you be waiting? What is the determining factor on that? Let's take a look and see what I think. Again, I'm just taking some guesses at this, but let's find out if this, first of all, is a good machine for the cost, and should you really be buying a 27-inch Intel-based iMac, or should you be waiting for the Apple Silicon? All right, so if you go to Apple today, apple.com, and you can see here that they have the 21.5-inch iMac and the 27-inch, which says new right there. See where it says new? So I'm going to go through these in a second, but what that tells us is that obviously this is probably going to be the last iteration of Intel-based iMacs. The 21.5 hasn't been updated at the same time, and that's probably going to be updated next with Apple Silicon. So that's the first thing this tells us. Now let's actually, in a couple seconds here, we're going to go through exactly what these new ones include, what were the upgrades, and is it worth it to buy it right now? All right, so what this does is this tells us that Apple's probably going to be putting the new Apple Silicon chips in some of their lower end models. If you notice that the 21.5-inch isn't really being updated like the 27-inch right now. And what does that tell you? That basically tells you that the 27-inch is going through another iteration with the Intel CPU in it. And probably the next iteration of the iMac that's going to have Apple Silicon is going to be the 21.5. Now, whether that's going to go up to 23, 24 inches like people think, have a bigger screen, maybe with a little bit less bezel with the new design, that's possible. But if you're looking for a 27-inch right now, should you pick up the new one that just launched right now with new CPUs, new GPUs, and the same design? The cost is about the same as well, and it is a pretty good deal. Again, I love my unit. It's going to have, they don't look that outdated to me. They probably will when the new ones come out. But let's get into it. I want to show some people about, what is involved in this, what does it include, and just really what my overall thoughts are on it. And we'll kind of go from there. Just a video like this where I don't actually have it in-house. It just came out, but I want to kind of talk about it so people kind of understand what the new 27-inch has. All right, so here's your new lineup of the 2020 27-inch Intel-based iMacs. So let's go ahead and take a look at them. So the first one's the base model. It's $1799, so the price is pretty good. Comes with a 6-core processor, i5 processor. So, and these are, let me just take a step back. So they're going to be, all of them are upgraded with the 10th gen Intel CPUs. And they also are going to be upgraded with the Radeon Pro, the 5300 series, and the 5500 series GPU. So the GPUs and the CPUs have been upgraded. That's the big change for these, just to let you know. They all have the 5K screens and everything else. But the first one's the weird one in particular because it basically is $1799. You can see that it comes with a 6-core 10th generation i5, 8 gigs of RAM, and it has 256 gigs of storage and the Radeon Pro 5300. So if you go in here and dive into this a little bit deeper, the weird thing about this one is, if I click on it here, is you can't actually upgrade any of the storage on here. So on the base model, you can see it's 256. If I scroll down, there's no way to actually increase that. So in order to go with more storage on this, you actually need to go with the middle model, which is right here. And we'll get into that in a second, but I just wanted to note that right off the bat. Okay, for the middle tier, you get a 6-core processor. It's the 10th gen i5. It gets a little bit of a boost over this one over here. You can see 3.3 gigahertz to 3.1. You get 8 gigs of RAM, so that's the same. 512 gigabyte storage, which you actually get a little bit more than the 256 over here. I talked about that a second ago. You get basically the same exact video card there as well. The only difference is if you go in here, you can actually make some different changes. So let's go in here. So once you're in here, there's a couple new features. You can actually do this on the base model too. There's something called nano glass or nano textured glass now. It basically makes a matte finish instead of that reflective finish. But for $500, I think I would hold off on that one. But down here, you can upgrade the CPU to 10 cores, 3.6 10th generation i9 processor. That's kind of weird, but that's $500. You can upgrade the memory, and then you can upgrade storage where you couldn't on the base model. Here you can for 1 terabyte of storage. It's $200. So this one gives you some options to upgrade. And this is the middle one, and this one starts at $19.99. So if we go back though really quickly, the weird thing here is the only way you can get an i7 is if you go with this model. So it's funny, this one can go from, this is an i5 where you can get the i9, but if you go with this one for $22.99, this is kind of the top tier one. This again comes with this 512 storage like this one over here. It comes with an upgraded Radeon Pro 5500 XT, which is an upgrade over these two graphics cards. But the main difference is it comes with the 10th gen Intel Core i7, which is basically an 8-core processor instead of these two, which are 6 cores. And if we go into here as well, you can upgrade this even further. You get the Nano Glass if you want, again, and you can upgrade this all the way to the 10th gen i9 if you want to. But this is the only one that you can actually get the i7, which is kind of weird. And then again, you can upgrade memory and you can upgrade everything else. So that's kind of how it breaks down. I just wanted to go through that quickly so you understand how the new 2020 iMacs break down. I know I've said this before, but I just want to clarify this again one more time. This is going to stay the same design as before, so it looks exactly the same. So the new designs are probably going to come out in 6 months to a year as far as the look and feel of it. So this is the same design. With the new Apple Silicon coming out, do you really want to buy the 27-inch brand new iMac with the old design? The question really comes down to a couple factors. Number one, if you have like a 2017 iMac and you're looking for, just to upgrade that, I would wait because I think it's going to be about 6 months to a year, and you might see the new 27-inch iMac be bumped up to maybe like a 32-inch with with no bezels, and you might see new designs, new micro LEDs in the screens, various things like that are going to make it better. If you have a really old one though, you might be able to get a good price on the one that just came out. It is good pricing for what you get. And again, those Intel chips they're going to be covered for at least maybe 5 or 6 years. So you're going to be safe there, and you could probably sell it maybe 4 or 5 years from now for a really big portion of that cost. So I would say if you have an older than a 2017 iMac and you want a 27-inch, you need a 27-inch with the 5K screen, this is not a bad unit to pick up. If you're looking for the newer one, like a 21.5 inch, definitely wait because, in a couple months we're going to know more. But I think that all the base models of these systems, like the 21.5 inch iMac, I think, even in the MacBook Pros, like the base models of the MacBook Pros, the Apple Air, those are the ones that are going to get Silicon first, the Apple Silicon first. So those are the ones that are going to be probably updated in the coming, 6 months or so. Since this one just launched with the new Intel CPU, that's probably going to be another year away or so. Same with the the iMac Pro. These are the expensive units, so they don't want to really make those people upset. So they're going to wait a little while before they come out with anything new on those as well. So I would say if you're looking for more of a base model or something like a 21.5 inch iMac, then go ahead and just wait a little while. But if you're looking for something like this, where you think it's a good deal and you're okay with it with Intel for at least 5 or 6 years, then this is a good pickup for what you see. So that's that's basically what I say on this. I know I talked about it quite a bit so far, but I'm just trying to help people, make a decision because it's kind of a hard one. Anyways, if you guys can support my channel, I make videos, a couple a week, and I make it on mostly, I guess, Apple at this point, but I do a lot of PC stuff, hard drives and speed tests and everything else in between there. So definitely subscribe if you can and click the thumbs up. Talk to you soon. Peace.